mustache and always wore those checkered fan shoes to work. About 4 years ago, our company had a Halloween costume contest. The day before the party, I decided to go as Greg. So I went to a magic shop and got a legitimate fake beard and mustache, like the real hair ones. I shaved my head. I bought the exact same Vans he always wears. So I show up to work the next day dressed as Greg. Full beard, mustache, shaved head, shoes, everything. I'm not kidding. People were mistaking me for him all morning. Greg gets to work, sees me dressed as him, and people start talking to him about my costume. He awkwardly poses for a picture with me, then proceeds to immediately leave work and doesn't come back for the rest of the day. I won the costume contest. He didn't speak to me for 6 months after that. When we did start to talk, it wasn't the same as before. I could tell he had some resentment towards me. I left the company a couple of years later and we haven't spoken since I left. I've reached out but Greg hasn't responded. Admittedly, I'm an extrovert and he's an introvert. In his eyes, I was probably making fun of him and he didn't like the negative attention from our co-workers. In my eyes, I was simply trying to look like him and go unconventional with the costume. Am I the a-hole? Yeah, you are the a-hole. I don't think you should ever dress up as somebody. Like somebody you know, like a celebrity. I mean, it's a bit different, I guess. But you shouldn't dress up as somebody you know without their consent, because 1, it's a bit weird, 2, it can be seen as insulting and most likely will, and 3, it's just gonna make them feel shitty. Don't do that. If you dressed up as each other, like, agree to do that, that's different. That would be kind of funny, but that wasn't the case, and he clearly was not happy about it. So you should have apologised immediately after realising, rather than just not talking. Okay, this next one is by representative number 5760. It is titled, Am I the a-hole for putting up scary Halloween decorations in my front yard? Every year I go really big for Halloween and Christmas. My house is typically the most visited and talked about house in my big neighbourhood. This year, I added some new places to my Halloween display that include a scary butcher guy and his deli case full of body parts. I also have skeletons climbing all over the roof, a graveyard with a gravedigger guy, and a headless horseman. I typically have people of all ages say how much they love it and how fun they think it is. This morning some lady posted on Nextdoor about how horrifying and awful my display is, and that it scared her toddlers so much they cried. She went on a rant about how terrible of a person I must be to put such scary things in my yard in a family neighbourhood, and I should respect others' fears and take it down. I do it just for fun, and because most people enjoy it. I'm not a depraved psychopath and do not advocate for serial killers, as this woman alluded to. I think if you're walking down the street with your kids and you see a house coming up that you think might freak them out, it's your job as a parent to either turn around and walk away, or walk on the opposite side of the street and try not to let them see it up close. Not to stand right in front of it, take photos, then put your neighbour on blast on social media while your kids are crying and scared. So am I the a-hole? No, absolutely not. It's Halloween, there's gonna be crazy decorations everywhere. I mean, that's just Halloween for you. Yeah, some people might as we'd be doing things together the whole night, we had already decided not to let trick-or-treaters knock on the door. Nor did we put a bowl of candy out. It was my boyfriend's idea to put a piece of paper on the front door reading, "Keep out," which later evolved to "Stay away," and ultimately we decided on F off. All our lights and porch lights would be off, so nobody would see it anyways. It's just good to know that it's there. Around 8:30 or so, while we were watching a disgusting yet sensual film, we heard a loud banging on the door. I took my time to put on a bathrobe, but we heard something like, "You'd better get out here," and more banging, so I rushed out. A woman on the younger side of old, dressed in that one T-Rex costume, was standing there with a flashlight and 3 or 5 kids behind her. Before proceeding to tear me to pieces, she yelled at the kids to stay back because I apparently wasn't dressed. This stranger scolded me for luring her kids to my house, only to teach them a word they shouldn't know. I was very weirded out by this and even more confused when she asked for candy. I said we didn't have any, and she said good. She then stood at my door for several seconds without saying anything, so I asked her to leave with her grandkids. After which she told me she was waiting for me to remove the hateful sign on my door. She also corrected me that they were her kids, so I walked out onto the porch, took the piece of paper off the door, threw it away in the trash can 2 feet away, and planned to shut the door, but they were still there. I asked why, and she said they were still waiting for candy, so I just slammed the door. Everything that day had gone all wrong, and been trampled on and lost and thrown away. Got to the hallway while on my way to my love in bed. Before I got to my room, he told me to keep my bathrobe on because the old woman was apparently walking around our house. He saw her through a window. I don't know what happened after, but the whole thing was weird and creepy. Am I the a-hole, or is this woman ridiculous? I kind of think that both people are the a-hole in this story. I mean, first off, we have to address the elephant in the room, and that was the first sentence. It was something like, let me find it, "My long-distance boyfriend," and then in brackets, "I'm female," obviously. Just because you have a boyfriend does not obviously make you female. That is not how that works at all, and it screams and reeks of like homophobia, so that's already like a major red flag. And then it's the case of like, I feel like the F-off sign is a bit too heavy, like a bit too harsh. Like, there are many ways to go about that, you know. You could put up a sign that says "No trick-or-treaters, thank you," or something like that, rather than "Fuck off, it's kids having fun," you know. There's so many other ways you could have announced that you don't want people knocking and that you're not participating. But then, on the other hand, the woman is definitely weird for coming up and repeatedly saying she's waiting for candy, even though she'd been told, like, "No, we're not giving out candy," and then for even knocking, she should have saw the sign and just left. Like, don't put your kids through that like hassle. Like, it puts a dampener on the mood. Just leave, just go. And then also the walking around the house thing is very bizarre and definitely creepy and weird. So I feel like both of the women in this are just not great. So yeah. Okay, this next one is, it's by If Ender amazing my beautiful fiance has been through it all. We looked at my costume as a funny way to celebrate how much better I am doing. No longer on a ton of medication, I'm happy and healthier than ever. But when she posted a photo of us on her Instagram, she got some flack for making a joke out of depression. I believe that comedy equals tragedy plus time, but was wondering what you all think. Am I the a-hole? No, you are not the a-hole at all. I very much am a firm believer of, if you have been through something yourself, then you can use the humor about it. Like you can use your own humor, because maybe that's how you cope, and you've been through it, so it's not like you're making fun of other people. The only thing I would say is, if you're around someone who like very much doesn't like it, maybe just try and tone it down out of like consideration. But yeah, before I carry on, I'm gonna open this cough sweet because I have a really bad sore throat at the minute. I've got a bit of a cold. Okay, let's go to the next one. It is by inevitable_ladder768. It's titled, Am I the a-hole for not inviting my niece and nephew to make Halloween sugar cookies? I randomly decided to make sugar cookies with my kids because it's finally starting to feel like fall, and I wanted to get in the fall mood. I decided to post them on Instagram, making the cookies, just because our family likes to watch them. Anyways, my brother called me asking why I didn't invite my niece and nephew over to make cookies with my kids, if they live 15 minutes down the road. He stated that it wasn't fair that his kids weren't invited when they don't even live far. I told him it was all last minute, and he said that he would have invited me if they did something at their house. He tried to guilt trip me and tell me that his kids should be just as important to me as my own kids, and that I shouldn't be leaving them out, especially because they live so close to me. To me, it was just a simple activity that I decided to do with my kids, but to him it was way more than that. A couple days before, they did a fun activity at home, and we didn't get invited, but I wasn't expecting to either. My mum says it's not hard to invite them over for stuff, which it's not, but sometimes I just want to do things alone with my kids. So, am I the a-hole? No, not the a-hole at all. That's crazy. For a start, like, yes, it's nice to love all of your family, but no, your nieces and nephews shouldn't be as important as your own kids, because they are your own children, you know. And secondly, I'm sorry, but you're allowed to have time alone with your kids to bond. You don't always have to get the rest of the family involved. That's crazy. Like, sure, yeah, it would have been nice to invite them, but you don't have to. You can invite them at different times. Sometimes you just want to be alone with your immediate family, and that's okay. That's crazy. Okay. just put a pin in it until later. I know I am right to not want her there, just seeing if it makes me a full-blown arsehole. Yeah, not the a-hole at all. Your girlfriend, I know she was upset about the comment, but I think she should be more supportive of you. That friend crossed a major boundary, and she should be putting you first. So if you say you're not comfortable with her being there, she should basically say, okay, we won't invite her. You know, it's not that hard. Also, I'm sorry, but if that were me, especially with it being someone she only knew for 6 months, if someone I, in my opinion, barely knew, said something like that about my partner, I would be livid, and I would completely take them out of my life. There's a lot of big updates. I'm just kind of reading through them really quickly, skimming through to see if they're actually worth narrating and talking about. I don't think so, not really. This next one is by a deleted account. It's titled, "Am I the a-hole for telling my boyfriend he shouldn't take his girl best friend for a couple's costume for Halloween?" I don't know, I think I may be wrong. My boyfriend, 26 male, and I, 23 female, have been together for 8 months. He is very kind to me and has never raised his voice or lost his temper with me. I was introduced to his friends very early in our relationship, and I get along with them just fine. He and his friends have been friends from nursery days, and they are all very nice to me. He has a friend, Vivian, fake name, who along with his 2 other friends plan for Halloween every year, months in advance. I have never doubted any foul play about them, and I have never wanted to be the jealous new girlfriend who ruins friendships. The problem is that my boyfriend works in a firm where they apparently throw Halloween parties. He goes with one of his friends every year, and this year was Vivian's turn to go with him because last year he went with his friend Tom. Plus, he and Viv have a thing about scary costumes and horror, and they share the same love for Halloween. The thing is, I love Halloween too. My boyfriend knows that, and we share that common interest too. Granted, I can't just claim a common interest, but he didn't even ask me once if I wanted to go with him, since he and Viv started planning 2 months ago. We were dating then, and he never mentioned it to me. It's just that I thought that he could have at least asked me. He mentioned to me 2 days ago that he and Viv had their couple's Halloween costumes ready, and if I wanted to see them. I did not feel as positive about it as I should have, and I guess it showed on my face because he asked what was wrong, and I asked him why he never even asked me to go with him once. He didn't get mad, but said that he won't change his rituals with his friends for his relationship. He told me I knew about it early on, as he told me before. I felt hurt, and I told him that's a hurtful thing to say, and he didn't respond. He has been giving me the silent treatment. I have never expected him to dump plans with his friends from me ever. I don't mind when he does escape rooms with Viv, or always has hiking plans with Tom and the others. The only reason I thought he could have asked me is because I love Halloween too, and thought it was a common interest. But now I feel I have stepped over the line, and I feel really awful. Am I the a-hole? I don't think